Everyone. You've reached and exceeded the midpoint of this course. Good for you. I'm so proud of you. Now, what I want you to do first is I want you to look at your grades. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to the grade book and I'm going to review with you what you should have done already. So I've got an F. Horrible. But hopefully you don't have that F. Okay, so you should have the week 2 citation assignment done. It should be graded. You should have the week 3 assignment done. That should be graded. Also, look at the rubric here, please, so you know what notes I gave to you, because the feedback that I gave to you might help you with the week 5 assignment due this week. Also, look at my notes with your citation exercise, because I tried to help you learn how to cite correctly. So please look at those as well. Let's look at the forums. You should have the week 1 forum graded, week 2 forum graded, week 3 forum graded. These 2 you should have completed. I have not graded them yet, so I will have those graded hopefully tonight, if not tomorrow. Then you should have these 2 quizzes graded. If you have empties on any of the ones that I've just pointed out to you, message me immediately so I can help you figure out what's going on. Sometimes I make mistakes, but you might have also overlooked an assignment, and I want you to get as much credit as you can for each of the assignments that have been due. Okay? So today you have reached week 5. Let's pull up the lesson. You have a position paper due. Now, in the week 5 lesson, there is a lengthy Word file. I would like for you to go through this Word file. It gives you a lot of information, and it will help you understand how your essay should flow this week. This document was not created by me, but it does give you a lot of information. I do want to point out to you that your essay does not have to be 5 paragraphs, at least for me. I'm not seeking a 5-paragraph essay. If it takes 6 paragraphs or 4 paragraphs or 7 paragraphs for you to prove your position, your thesis statement, that works for me. Also for me, you do not have to write a 3-part thesis. I want you to be very specific with your thesis. I want you to have a persuasive argument to make, but you don't need to give me every single detail about your essay in your thesis if you choose not to do that. I just want to know what your persuasive argument is. Take a stand, choose a side, but you don't have to give me everything in your thesis right away, all the specific details. I want to know what your specific position is, but I don't need to know everything in your thesis. Okay? So enough of that. Let's close that. Let's return to the lessons this week. So you have some optional reading. It's up to you if you want to read those. You have the same grammar books again. I'm assuming at this point you won't have to consult them, but if you do, feel free. If you have a grammar question though, send me a message too. I can help you, or please post in the open forum. Your grammar question is everyone else's as well. All right, so here are the lessons. So the lesson 5 is discussing the position paper that you have due this week. And I know you probably have figured this, but position means you taking a position, you taking a stance on a persuasive, controversial argument. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want you to write an informative essay. I want you to write an argumentative, persuasive essay this week. So this lesson discusses how you organize it. I'm assuming most of you know by now that I'm looking for an introductory paragraph. The last sentence of the introductory paragraph will be your thesis statement, and these are important. Your thesis statement expresses one main idea, is specific, is focused, sets up the main points of your paragraphs if you so choose. You don't necessarily need to do that for me, but if you so choose, please put the main points of your paragraphs. Unifies the support that you use throughout your essay and is arguable. Okay, that's key. You need to have an argument. Last week when I was looking through the thesis statements, I noticed a lot of you are writing informative thesis statements. Please write a persuasive, arguable thesis statement, one with which a regularly educated person could disagree. Okay, so for example, trees are important. That does take a stance, but do reasonable people believe that trees are not important? Right? So that's what I mean. You've got to take a stance on an argument that reasonable people would disagree with, okay? So after your introduction, that works like a funnel. Remember, I keep talking about that funnel. So you go from general to specific thesis statement. Quick side point, you could also start with a case study. That's always interesting to drag your reader in, to hook your reader in. An interesting little case study would work. End with your arguable specific thesis statement, and then you have your body paragraphs. You need to have topic sentences at the start of your body paragraphs. You need to offer transitions. You can start off by saying, after your thesis statement, first, such and such is so and so. Next paragraph. Also, it happens that blah, 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 blah. Then your final paragraph. Finally, such and such and so and so. Okay, so I want to see transitions because that helps your essay flow well. Also, a quick tip, always end with your strongest, most specific, most persuasive point. Start with your weakest point, end with your most persuasive point. That way you leave your audience with something to remember. Then you have your conclusion. Sometimes students just do a quick sentence or a couple of sentences because they've worked so hard on the essay, they figure I'm not reading your conclusion. I read your conclusion. In fact, I consider that the second most important paragraph in your essay, the first being your intro. So make sure to spend some time on your conclusion. It's your last chance to make an impression on me. Leave me thinking, wow, this student deserves an A. One thing that students like to do, and I agree it works quite well, it's called bookending. You start with a specific thought in your intro, and then you end your conclusion with that thought in light of your discussion. So let's go back to that case study again. You start with a case study, and then you end your essay with that case study in light of your discussion. Or a different case study that worked out positively in light of your discussion, or negatively, depending on what your focus is with your essay. Finally, please make sure to have a reference list of some sort. Most of you are using APA, so I really want you to have a clear reference list using APA citations. Don't just do the URL. That just makes me upset. Just kidding. Well, I get a little annoyed with that. I want you to put a full citation in there. And then only use references in your citation list that you have directly used an in-text citation for in your essay. Okay? So, that's the lesson. This week in the Credo, and I'm going to show you where that is. It's right here, this thing right here. I want you to go through this. This just gives you information on how to access research. And I'm going to post another link showing you how to access the library websites. I want you, and I'm going to go back again. I'm kind of whipping through here. I want to check because I can't remember how many references you need in this essay. So let me see. Okay, so you need 3 sources, at least one from the library and at least one from a professional organization, a .org or a .edu organization. If you do 2 from the library, then you don't need the one from the professional organization, for me. So hopefully those of you who have been wondering that, if you're listening to this video, you'll realize that I'm okay with 2 from the library, and then you can leave out the professional organization. I really want to see you use the library, though. Okay, so let's go back here. This lesson is helpful because it shows you how to research, okay? And the problem is what a lot of students do is they write their essays before they do the research. It's really, really, really important that you research your essay, your topic, prior to writing the essay. Because what happens is you start filling in research that follows what you already knew, but research is supposed to expand your knowledge and shape what you write. Okay, so it's really important that you research your essay before you write your essay. Research your topic before you write your essay. So this credo lesson, it's a lot of words, but it helps you figure out how to research properly. So this lesson right here will set you up for this course, but also for future courses as well, because research is such a big part of your degree. You really need to learn how to do this correctly. Now, I'm going to exit out of here. I'm going to return to this, not the lesson, but I want to go to the library. I'm going to point out some things to you. All right. If you have problems, contact the librarians. They want to help you. All right. And I know I've showed you this before, but if you go to finding your sources by subject, you can probably find which databases are most useful for the areas of your interest. For example, a number of you are majoring in Intel. So what I want you to do is click on Security and Global Studies and then find the databases that are most useful for you. And I'll give you a little hint. I think Academic Search Premier is a good one in this particular one. This one is an excellent one, these two right here. And then, let's see, do I see? Oh, and Sage Journals is very helpful as well. And then, I'm trying to think of, oh yes, a lot of you are majoring in business. Again, Academic Search Premier is a good one for you. And then Nexus Uni is a great source for recent newspaper articles, very, very helpful. So please go ahead and use databases by subject. That will probably be most useful for you and probably save you a lot of time. But if you do have problems, please click on the email us link, or you can even text a librarian. For example, I just chatted with a librarian today because I had some questions about something. It was in real time and they were very helpful. So please take advantage of the librarians and seek the information out prior to writing your essay. All right, so let's go back to the classroom. So this week, you really only have one thing due other than the readings, and that is your position paper. Now, we uploaded our outlines last week, but this week I want you to kind of go through the assignment, read through it. I went through it before just a few moments ago, but read through the assignment directions. Mainly, you want to make sure that your essay stays within this binding right here. I don't want you to go outside of 750 words, and I don't want you to go beneath 500 words. I want you to stay within that assignment. The citations in your reference list and the setup cover page, whatever you need, is not included in the length. This is just the content. You have 3 required sources. Like I said, I am okay with 2 from the library. If you can't find one from a professional organization, that's fine. Use the citation style that is appropriate for your discipline and the format style. If you have questions about that, feel free to ask me. I'm here to help you. I'm looking for a strong introduction, a thorough body with research that adds to your discussion, and a conclusion, and I want you to write a persuasive essay. All right? Now, let's go back to the forums. This week, you have an optional forum due. I'm not grading it, but you can complete it if you want to, and I will respond to you, I promise. Tweets. So, it's just basically a fun little exercise. Remember, 280 characters or less. If you mess that up, though, you're not being graded, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, if you want to complete it, please do so. If you don't feel like doing it, you don't have to. All right? So that's all for the lesson this week. But if you do have questions, please let me know. I know I speak fast, so sometimes it's easier to read an explanation rather than hearing an explanation. So if you have any questions, please contact me. I'm online all the time. I hope you guys have a great week. Bye.